Hello, this is Heather Hoffman, and today I have a fun set of birthday cards to make using Reverse Confetti candles, Confetti Cuts, paired up with Birthday Wishes stamp set. And I'm using the die, instead of just using it as a die to make a shaker or lay in the pieces, for this card I'm using it as a stencil, which will allow me to really quickly and easily create several cards at the same time. You might notice I've already die cut it from a panel of white cardstock, and I've cut it a little smaller than the front of my card base, mostly so I can see what I'm doing and make sure I place it and center it where I want. I'm using some tiny blending brushes. These are just makeup brushes that I picked up on Amazon. You can use foam blenders or whatever else. I really like some of the smaller sizes on this for doing these little ones. So I'm starting off by doing the flames on the candle, and I've blended those with Bumblebee Yellow, and then I'm adding a little bit of Tangerine just kind of along the bottom for some depth and shadow effects. And you can see the way I taped it at the top, it's really easy to pop it up and make sure I'm happy with the coverage and that I have enough ink. I'm using a little bit of Post-it tape as a mask, and now that I've done the flames, I'm going to mask out the flames, just kind of reverse my tape so I can go ahead and do the candle bits along the bottom. And for this one, I'm using Iced Aqua and RC Aqua ink. So I'm starting with the lighter, just blending it over all of those spots, and then I'm going to come in with the darker and kind of shade in. I'm only showing this one card on the video, but I ended up making a total of 3 using the same mask, just repeat using it over and over. And for the other ones, I used a combination, I did a green one with a combination of pistachio and grass, Reverse Confetti dye ink, and then another one with a combination of Bellini and coral dye ink. Just gives some different, kind of depends if you're going for a guy card or a girl card. And then there's lots of fun sentiments in the Birthday Wishes stamp set, so I used a different sentiment for each one. And there you can see you kind of have a little darker at the bottom, just a little bit of depth on there. And once I finished that, I went ahead and I'm going to come back in and stamp my sentiment. I'm lining it up with my Misty just so I can make sure I don't make any mistakes and I can stamp a nice dark crisp sentiment. I like quite often to double stamp them, so Misty allows me to do that. I chose my sentiment, I lined it up there in my Misty, and then I'm going to stamp it with Midnight dye ink. And again, the Misty allows it to line up perfectly, which I just love. The great thing about this card design also is it's a nice one-layer design that's super easy to pop in the mail and send to a friend, easy to fit in the envelope and everything else. Now, even though I got a great impression, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it twice, just since the Misty allows me to do that. It just gives you an even, crisper, and more black stamped impression. And I'll clean off my stamp there, and then as one finishing touch, at this point this card was great the way it was, but I wanted to add one more little thing. Just as I looked at it, it felt like it needed one more thing. So I'm lining my stencil back up over, and you can see it's really easy to line it back up where I had it there, and I'm pulling out some Nuvo clear glitter drops. These are in Blizzard, so they're just a clear glitter glue basically, and you could use anything on this. And I'm just going to add a little dot to each of those, and then I'm just going to smudge it over with my finger. So again, I'm using that negative die cut kind of as a stencil as well. Now when I peel that off, it adds just a tiny touch of dimension and sparkle to those flames, which is just kind of a super fun touch. And this photo shows it a little bit better. You can kind of see how there's some glitter and shine there. Thanks so much for coming by today. Have a wonderful day.